My name is David Shillinglaw. I am an artist. Actually, I should say that again because my mum hates when I drop the T's. I am an artist. Generally, I think they wanted me to make something colourful at the festival, and I pitched to them that I would make an installation based on a wooden shed. So it became a dwelling, a space to enter, rather than it being just a wall to paint. Generally, the way I paint, I don't plan it. I didn't make a sketch. I just started drawing as if I would draw a piece on paper and allowed it to grow. The idea of going into a public space and making something that people will respond to, even if it's just looking at it and thinking about the world in a slightly different way, that's amazing. That's like a mini personal revolution, you know, happening. You're like, I did this, and other people saw it. I've always been a bit of an attention seeker, but I'm very aware that I am part of my work. I am a part of all of my work. I don't really make things necessarily about things as much as I make them about how I see them. So first off, my work is about me. There's an autobiography within my work, but then there's a big part of my work that's about how I make it and revealing that process by making it in front of people. That's something I'm very interested in. It's difficult, but I enjoy it a lot. It keeps me on my toes and it inspires the hell out of me talking to people I've never met. I love that. I love that initial hello, and they usually say nice things. If you're going to take the time to talk to someone who's playing music or dancing or whatever, you're going to take time because you enjoy it. Which maybe I should get some of the people who don't enjoy it to tell me, but they just walk by, you know, they carry on walking generally. So like a lot of my work, in a nutshell, is about how we reveal and conceal our true identity. So like we do things to stand out and we do things to stand back. We're constantly covering things up, you know, desperate to hide the things that other people shouldn't see or know or feel. See, I believe identity is possibly the most valuable thing you have, to not fully have a grasp on your own self. I believe that's more important than money, a job, a girlfriend. I think your identity is akin with your freedom, and I think freedom is the greatest currency. So yeah, a lot of my work is about identity and how we identify with each other and ourselves, hence maybe using a face, because faces are an immediate thing. If I draw a face, most people are like, that's me, or it's someone else. Like even just two simple eyes and a mouth, you see it as a face. This is it. This is kind of like your world is here, you know, in your face. The rest of it's kind of like this add-on. It's like these are all the organs I carry around with me, you know, to help me work. But generally, my existence is kind of here, right? So inside the shed is a whole little world which I've created. And on the outside is this huge, colourful, vibrant kapow of mural. So yeah, you walking into that world, yeah, you're kind of walking into my head, but not really me specifically. It doesn't have to be me. That's an example of anyone's head, just like the general clutter and like collections and list making. You're never thinking about one thing. As I'm having this conversation, I'm seeing a naked baby over there and I'm seeing fish net suspenders in the distance. So you're dealing with that trivia, that nonsense, plus the fact that, oh my God, I'm gonna die, or oh my God, I'm in love, or something really profound. So it's like this mix of really important things and really trivial things mashed together, plus some really dark stuff, you know? There's always dark stuff going on inside people's psyche. You don't even want to, and you're standing at the side of the train platform, you're thinking, I could push that person in front of a train. You'd never do it. You'd never do it. But you think about it. I do anyway. Do you ever? Come on, let's be honest. You've thought about it. It's not I want to, it's I could. And that's interesting, because that's like the id inside so you've got like dark and light and trivia and important stuff. I don't know how we get through the day, you know? So that's kind of the essence of the jumble sale of ideas inside my shed head. I wanted to create something that people would feel truly was an aesthetic experience, you know? Not just looking at something, but actually feeling it and banging your head on the doorway as you go in. people entered into it and it had a mood and an environment of its own. It didn't, I hope, look or feel like anywhere else. But it was inspired by trips to Africa, so there was African fabric in it, and the idea of maybe somewhere between a shanty town, which I've experienced in townships in South Africa, also versus a shamanic dwelling where I've met a shaman in Gambia that's made out of wood and it's got fabric hanging and there's objects there that possibly have sentimental or even magic associated with them. So the whole thing was me creating a temple, if you like, of worship, people worshipping my art, me worshipping my art, people entering into space and just looking and worshipping, like kind of, it's almost like what you do in a gallery, isn't it? It doesn't really matter what's in the space. You go in with that mindset of like, I'm gonna maybe appreciate this. And I was playing with that. Is it a person or is it a monster? It was called the Shamanic Voodoo Juju Shed. And I would say there was actually a comment on Facebook saying that voodoo isn't a good thing because in parts of the world, like Haiti and stuff, voodoo is used as an evil thing, black magic and stuff. And I'm fully aware of that. But it wasn't a negative reference. It was my experience in Gambia that inspired it, because I did meet a shaman and I was given a juju, which is a protective kind of lucky charm. And they do practice voodoo, but it's a very healthy form of voodoo. I like the word voodoo. I think it's a cool word. I was trying to get people's attention, really, with language that they know. Everyone knows the word voodoo. It's got this like nursery rhyme quality to it. It's like the voodoo hoodoo, what you don't dare do. Shamanic shed. Voodoo and juju, shamanic shed.